Promises continues on 2020.
Often when sellers make promises that aren't what they seem, they warn you. If you could just read the label or the fine print in the ad. But that can take keen eyesight.
To demonstrate Corelle glass dinnerware is still as durable as ever.
This ad implies the dishware will not break.
We greased the runway.
Only when I paused the commercial could I read the disclaimer that said, may break if dropped or struck. But dropping it's what they just did in the ad. The manufacturer, Corelle, wrote us, we never claim that our glass dinnerware is unbreakable.
This Lexus IS.
The fine print disclaimer started with car ads, says New York Times advertising reporter Stuart Elliott.
The cars are going impossibly fast, where they would say, professional driver, close course, do not attempt.
The companies, of course, are hoping to stay out of trouble with government regulators.
Introducing Edge.
Lately, it's gotten even sillier. The disclaimer on this ad says vehicles can't really drive on buildings. Shouldn't it also disclaim your girlfriend won't get this excited about you?
Over 1,000 people insist they've seen something in Loch Ness.
And have you seen this great ad?
Like this expedition. What's going on?
Do people actually think this is real?
Oh my.
Yet Toyota felt forced to add in fine print fictionalization, not a demo of Tacoma's performance. Did you even notice the fine print when you saw the ad?
What's the point of the fine print? Nobody can read it.
Well, it covers them from anyone like yourself who comes out after them saying, this is not true, this is deceptive, this is misleading.
The companies also want to avoid running afoul of the government's complex consumer protection laws.
They can point to that and say, we fulfilled our obligation, we told the viewer this cannot be done in the real world.
So our government is encouraging pointless, unreadable warning.
That's entirely possible, yes.
The rules are supposed to protect us consumers, but like much government regulation, they aren't very successful. This website, mouseprint.org, lists lots of ads with disclaimers they say are so small only a mouse could read them. For example, Washington Mutual Bank says with its debit card, you can earn cash back on purchases.
It says you get a reward.
But while the reward might look like it's 3%, it's really only 3 cents per purchase. Buy a Rolls Royce and you'd still get just 3 cents back.
That was hilarious. In a terrible way, of course.
Now is the best time ever to get a new Chrysler or Jeep vehicle.
Here's another ad that looks like an empty promise to me. Buy this car.
And if not satisfied, simply return it within 30 days.
If you're not satisfied, simply return it within 30 days. That's appealing.
But you're subject to all sorts of different fees and charges, and you have to bring it back by a certain time.
Now, the commercial does say that.
And if I read the fine print, it says, customer responsible for 5% restocking fee. 50 cents per mile driven, which is quite a bit.
So basically, it's like the world's most expensive test drive.
So are newspaper ads any better? Not necessarily. Check out this ad for a new Mazda. Just $9,565. But read the small print. I need a magnifying glass to do it. And you learn that the real price is $18,000. $9,500 plus another $9,000 in cash or trade-in.
Trust IRA.
When I tried complaining to the owner through his 800 number, they put me into his voicemail. So I left him this message.
Shouldn't the ad say 1-800-DON'T trust IRA?
No one ever called me back. But this kind of fine print is common. This dealership advertises cars like this Buick for $18,000. But in very fine print says you have to come up with an additional $4,000 cash or trade. Calling them, I did reach a manager willing to talk about his $18,000 car.
Marketing is very, very, intense right now in the automobile industry.
He was refreshingly honest.
And if I compete against somebody else and my price is $4,000 higher, more than likely you're going to hang up the phone or you're not going to even call me.
Isn't this deceptive?
Everything's fully disclosed. There's nothing that's a secret. There's nothing to hide.
It makes me want to go home and read a good book. Maybe this new mystery from the famous Robert Ludlum, author of The Bourne Identity and 20 other bestsellers. Except Ludlum died 6 years ago, well before this book came out. This novel was written by someone else. In tiny print, the publisher does tell us.
Since his death, the estate has worked with a carefully selected author.
It's not just Ludlum. V.C. Andrews is still churning out lots of romance novels, but she's been dead for 20 years. 2 more examples. Have you seen the ads for the Kellogg's K2O protein water? They claim losing up to 6 pounds just got easier.
But you have to look at the tiny type.
In the tiny fine print, it says you have to substitute 2 meals for cereal plus this water.
Who does that?
No one I know. Kellogg's declined to talk to us about this. And now even plain water comes with fine print. Well, not genuine plain water, but expensive bottled waters. The labels suggest they're special. Some show mountains or polar bears, implying the water comes from pristine wilderness. Only when you read the fine print do you find out that Everest water is not from Mount Everest. It's from here, Corpus Christi, Texas. It turned out that Glacier Clear didn't come from a glacier. Its source was tap water from Greenville, Tennessee. Couldn't find any glaciers around here. Many bottled waters are just reprocessed tap waters from cities. One of Aquafina's sources is the Detroit River.
The bottom line, to try to avoid broken promises, you better get one of these.